Anyone who has a child with disabilities or teaches them in school will tell you the programs are underfunded and they're over capacity. But now Congressman Joe Neguse is trying to get an additional $1 billion for a federal grant program that's going to help out. Political specialist Sean Boyd live at a school in Boulder. And Sean, the funding challenge came to light from a very surprising group of youngsters.
Yeah, Congressman Neguse says he got letters from 100 seventh graders in his district, none of whom have disabilities, asking for more money for special education, money that Congress promised 40 years ago. We spoke to an educator here in Boulder who's worked with kids with disabilities his entire career, and he says this is a matter of civil rights.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's the way to live life. Yeah.
Dennis Rastatter has worked in special education for 25 years and will tell you it's a calling.
The most important part of what I believe my work is to make sure that every kid understands and has the skills to become a contributing member of society.
As executive director of special ed for the Boulder Valley School District, he oversees the education of some 4,000 kids, or 12% of the student body.
We have kids who are medically fragile, who may require support and services from a one-on-one nurse. We have students who may need to be tube-fed, certainly diapered. Oftentimes it feels like we're out on an island fighting for the needs and rights, quite frankly, of students with disabilities.
In 1975, Congress passed the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, but 40 years later, it remains only 15% funded.
The reality is it's an unfulfilled promise to so many children and parents across the country because of the lack of adequate funding.
Congressman Joe Neguse aims to change that. He's secured $1 billion in additional funding in a bill that passed the House with bipartisan support.
The students that are just incredibly inspiring young people, and I have no doubt that they'll be able to achieve their dreams, that they have unlimited potential if we make the necessary investments.
It's still a civil rights issue around making sure that people with disabilities have what they need.
And Rastatter says that additional funding will help all students, not just those with disabilities, because school districts are now having to backfill to meet that federal mandate. The new funding bill is in the Senate, and Congressman Neguse tells me he is optimistic that it will pass, and it is just the beginning. He has a separate bill to fully fund that law that was passed 40 years ago. Live in Boulder, Sean Boyd covering Colorado First.